the network level controls allow you to customize to the extent that you can say this this network will only allow anyone on this network to go to a whitelist, to go to a list of sites that I only want you to go to those, and it will block all other websites. That's fairly draconian. We don't really recommend that because there's lots and lots of places out there that have lots of value for your family, but there's actually very little way that you can, with teenagers, anticipate all of the perfectly safe and legitimate places that they want and need to go and get them on a whitelist. You can also pick one of the other filtering levels. High, moderate, or low. High protects against social networking sites, illegal activity, adult-related sites. Now, we do recommend that you leave open social networking sites because we find that there's lots of actual educational activity happening on social networking sites. You can customize that. The moderate level protects against all adult-related sites and illegal activities. And you can see that in each one of these, you can click on the Customize link to actually say which types of sites you want to open or close. Low simply protects against pornography, and then you can also go to a custom filtering that where you get to choose, yes, I want to block against alcohol, academic fraud, adult themes, adware, and chat, but no, I don't want to block blogs or auctions, and maybe I don't want to block chat either. Our philosophy here at Moreau that we use on our network is that it's better to filter than to block. It's better to use supervision and filtering to help teach students how to manage their distraction levels, how to manage their use of the technology, than it is to try to hide them from everything that we might find inappropriate. And this does mean that sometimes you'll need to have discussions with them about what is and isn't appropriate and how to handle those as you go along. And those discussions will be ongoing, and those discussions will generally not get any easier. They just continue to be problematic for everyone involved, but they can be extremely fruitful in terms of making sure that the computer experience in your home network is both safe and allows enough room for you and your student to grow and learn from what incredible offerings this tool has to bring to us. OpenDNS also has a Family Shield option, which is slightly easier to configure, and you can look for that on their website as well. But basically, what both of these options ask you to do is go into your router setup and change a couple of settings, change some numbers that are set in your router. They will actually guide you through on a step-by-step basis to find what kind of router you have, how to get into that router using your web browser, what the password is for your router, where to input the numbers that need to be changed, and how to test to make sure that it's going to work. OpenDNS is an extremely valuable tool. It's a tool that I use myself at home. It's a tool that will not interfere with the way that your student's computer functions elsewhere in the world, and will actually protect any computer that comes onto your network. So as opposed to targeting controls on an individual laptop, which then someone else can walk in with a phone or a smartphone or another laptop, another pad device, etc., and then use your network to go someplace that you haven't controlled. If your network is filtering, every device that walks into your house will be filtered as well.
As helpful as filtering software may be, we as parents and educators still need to help our students stay on track and make good choices. We all know distractions are common during the teenage years, and this image is what we're dealing with today. However, just like when we were in high school, we knew if another student was passing a note, or we knew if a student was throwing a spitball. Distractions are distractions, and today is no different. We can identify them. At Moreau, we're using technology to manage what's going on our school network. We're using a tool called Remote Desktop to view students' screens from remote locations, being our own computers. However, we're not just using this tool punitively. We're also using Remote Desktop as a student motivator. Here, you're seeing a class involved in an educational game, and all the student desktops are projected on the screen in the background, so students can see how others are doing in the game, and therefore perhaps become more motivated. Gaming can be a powerful learning tool, and you can see here how engaged the students are. It's important to set boundaries around laptop use. Each family is going to create different boundaries. Perhaps some families will allow extra time online if a student finishes ahead of time, and then parents can check PowerSchool to see how they did on that particular assignment. Other parents may require students to use their laptop only in the presence of a parent or an adult, or only in a public space, such as the kitchen or the living room. Some tips for setting boundaries. Explain why it's important to your child and negotiate with them so they feel there's compromise. All families are different, and only take what you can enforce. I like to use the example of having your students call you on Friday night when they go out. Some parents are going to have their student call every hour, others once a night, others only when they need a ride home. It's going to be the same thing for technology. You are going to determine what those boundaries are. Boundaries may change as students grow and mature. 9th grade boundaries should be different than 12th grade boundaries. These are the 3 online safety tips we share with our students throughout their 4 years at Moreau. It's important that students understand what public means. When students publish something to the web, whether it's an email, whether it's a chat, whether it's an image, it is going to be there for a very long time. The internet is constantly archiving what is being published. So even if that student goes and deletes an image, it's saved somewhere. And as we're seeing in the news today, these choices that were made can really have a detrimental effect when students apply for jobs, when they are applying for colleges, and so on and so forth. We encourage our students never give out personal information and never meet someone you don't know offline. Cyberbullying is something we take extremely seriously at Moreau. It is the intentional harm from one minor to another using electronic devices. It can happen 24/7 using cell phones or computers. Parents need to listen to see if there are changes in behavior that may be the cause of cyberbullying, and always ask before accusing. We encourage you to join your child online. Even if you're not using the same sites or social networking tools, you will become more familiar with the world they're living in, because so many of these social networking tools are similar. It's important to talk to your student about illegal downloading. And we like to mention this because how the recording industry and others like that are tracking illegal downloading is by looking at networks. So they would be looking at your home network, not your student's individual computer. So you could be held responsible for what your student is doing on the network. And students are sharing everything: movies, music, and pictures. Many of these pictures are unfiltered, so they contain inappropriate content. These are the icons that you will see on your student's laptop if they are illegally downloading information. To conclude, you are still the parent and there is help out there. And what we've done is we've compiled a list of resources that we think will help you to continue this conversation offline with your student. And if you go to the Moreau Catholic High School homepage and then click on Library, which is under Academics, you'll see on the left-hand side a Parent Resources link. If you click on that, you will see a list of resources that Shauna and I have gathered to help you. Netsmarts.org is a great website. commonsensemedia.org, stopcyberbullying.org, OpenDNS, which Shauna went into detail about. PrayProject.com is a site that allows you to download software that will track a student's laptop or your laptop if it is stolen. Should you have any questions, we encourage you to contact us. We are available by email, by phone, and we are also on Skype.
Thank you very much.